Imran Malik, welcome. Tell me about SES and what your role is in SES.
Oh, thank you, Alan. So SES is a leading service provider for connectivity via satellite. We're the only satellite operator in the world who are operating multi-orbit satellites. We have more than 50 satellites in the geostationary orbit, which include 3 high-throughput satellites, and we also operate a medium Earth orbit constellation of 20 satellites. So these are the O3b satellites. And we've now also announced our next generation of O3b satellites as well. My role is I look after the fixed data segment for SES networks. We are organized into 2 market-facing verticals, video and network. I'm part of the network side of the house. The video side of the house looks after a large number of services which are dedicated to content video distribution.
So when you say video, and you mean satellite television, direct
exactly,
to the home or to cable? Yeah. Like the satellite
I think
dish
you're
on my roof.
with that.
Yeah.
And the network side of the house is responsible for providing connectivity solutions to mobile network operators, or especially my role is serving the mobile network operators, telcos, enterprise solution, and we also have segments which are looking after cloud applications, as well as energy, maritime, and aero, etc.
The industry, the telecoms industry as a whole, has had a really important role during the pandemic, which we're now in month 8, 9, 10, whatever, depending where you start. What's SES's role been in coping or helping your customers to cope with the COVID crisis?
Well, because of the lockdowns, the entire economy, not just in one country, but around the world, moved to working from home. So that has put a tremendous pressure on the telecom networks. And we have also played a very important role in making sure that our customers are well served. The amount of data that we have been pushing into our customer networks has increased many folds. Fortunately, we've had the resources to do it. And since we manage majority of our networks remotely, we were able to provide the necessary business continuity without putting feet on the ground in order to upgrade the networks. Everything was done remotely. And I can give you quite a few examples. For instance, we provided a capacity in Timor for remote education. Timor is a very large customer of ours. We serve all of the mobile network operators over there. Similarly, we've kept the business going in Indonesia for our customers. Pretty much everywhere, the story is the same. The demand for bandwidth increased exponentially from March onwards. But because we had the assets in place, we were able to meet this demand.
And you said there's more assets coming into operation over the next few years.
Yes, we are. So
by assets, you mean satellites, of course.
Yeah, we're actually it's a combination of both satellites as well as ground segments. So we operate an extensive a network of gateways and teleports around the world. We're not restricted to just satellite only. So it's pretty much a mix of satellite and terrestrial connectivity. And in terms of our satellite assets, next year we will be focused on bringing our mPOWER constellation. The mPOWER constellation consists of 11 satellites. We're going to be started launching in 2021 onwards, with start of service in 2022. And so this is 11 satellites with very, very high throughput in the medium Earth orbit, using pretty much the same concepts as O3b, but with a majority of the differences, because we can now with mPower, where we'll be able to provide throughput anywhere from 50 megabits to multiple gigabits into a single beam, and with the flexibility to move capacity around for a network.
So this is a lot of innovation that you and SES have been working on. What else have you been doing over the last few years to keep up with the innovation?
So I mean, over the years, if you look at what SES has been doing, innovation is in our DNA. We're the first ones who came up with the concept of DTH. I heard earlier that you've been going to Luxembourg.
It was a long time ago. It was a long time ago, and I even went to Kourou to see the rollout of the rocket that later launched Astra 1A. So it's a long time ago. It's 30-something years ago. Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, Astra 1A is where everything started. So this was an innovative idea to be able to deliver a bouquet of channels through satellite. So this pretty much started the DTH age, and then over the years we have launched the medium Earth orbit constellation, the O3B. This was the first commercial venture for satellites in the medium Earth orbit. That's been very successful. We have been in operation for the last 7 years. And then the next batch of high throughput satellites, which again is an innovation, is also coming up, both in the geostationary orbit. So we have SES 17, which is a high throughput satellite, which is going to be operational over the Americas in 2021. And then we have O3B mPower, which is coming up, a constellation of 11 satellites. In O3B mPower, there are quite a few things that we are doing that have never been done before. So, for instance, we are partnering with Amdocs. We are hosting an open networking automation platform, ONAP. Within a Microsoft Azure domain. So this is very much a first in satellite communications. We are also, earlier this year we introduced our SD-WAN services, which allow the customers to bond their SES network connectivity with either terrestrial or connectivity through other satellites as well. So there's a lot of development going on at SES.
And you mentioned the Americas. You're a global company now. You started in Luxembourg, but you're in Singapore and you operate right around the world. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, our ability to be able to provide services anywhere around the world, that's one of our superpowers, because we are able to carry traffic, and it's not just about the satellites only, because we have a very extensive network of ground infrastructure. So we're able to move traffic from one continent to the other and be able to deliver it via satellite wherever the customer needs.
We're in late 2020 after a horrible year, but what are your priorities for 2021?
So 2021, we have to get ready for the start of service for mPower. So this involves the rollout of gateways. There are quite a few new gateways that are coming up around the world. Then we also have to get ready to start the services for our high throughput satellites in the Americas, SES 17. So this will also involve deploying the platforms, building up new gateways. So 2021 is going to be all about our next generation of satellites, both in the geo orbit as well as the MEO orbit.
Imran Malik, thank you very much. I look forward to talking to you in 2021 as the service develops. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time. Bye.
Thank you.